Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you are, who you are, what time of the day it is. I'm going to talk about something about that a bit later, but I'm Yvie Jones. I'm on Wurundjeri country. Thank you for tuning into my solo ep. It's me and you, just the two of us together. I'm going to get straight into the female this week. It's a good one. It's an interesting one, this one. Dear Yvie, I'm wondering how your friendships may have changed since you became a household name. It's so weird reading that out. Do you think it's easier to make friends as someone in the public eye, or does it make you want to keep your circle small? It's a really great question. And also, how have you gone about making friends as an adult? I just find it so hard some days. Thank you so much, Vanessa. Well, this is a great email because no one's ever really asked me that. I became a household name. It's such a funny thing. I do prefer it to celebrity because you got your grades then, and I'm definitely a D grade in the grand scheme of things. So I'll take household name. I became a household name over 10 years ago now. No, under 10 years ago. Anyway, it was a while. It was about a decade. And I had a lot of friends. Well, as you get older, you get smaller friends because you go through the culls. You go through your times of culling. And it's not always because of them. It's really most of the time not because of them. It's because of you and your growth. Or just your changes in beliefs, values, morals, all of those kind of things. I have culled a bit through my 20s, through my 30s, through my 40s, and now I'm 50, about to be 51, and I'm assuming I'm going to be culling a lot more in my 50s. But I've also made new friends recently, which is a really weird thing to do as an adult, especially in your midlife, but an incredibly wonderful thing to do. I'm wondering how your friendships may have changed since you became a household name. They did change. Most of them stayed exactly the same. And there was this sense of pride from my friends who've known me for such a long time, who could see all of a sudden the households of Australia loving me the way they'd always loved me. And having this, it's a really weird thing. It's like a national pride, when with sport you go, oh, that's our team. My friends were like that with me. Oh, that's our Yvie. And I'm so glad that you can all see her now and love her for what we've loved her and for what she's done for us privately in entertainment, which sounds a bit saucy. Sometimes it was. No, it's what she's always done for us as far as entertaining us goes. We're so glad that she gets to entertain you guys now, because you may not know her. I mean, you know her, but she may not know you. But we're really glad that you get to see that. I have had one or two friends who came out as quite threatened, and I got to see that in a really uncomfortable way for me. It was very obvious. It was very detrimental and condescending. And I had one particular friend who I don't talk to anymore. I've never really talked to them much. I knew them by association, but there was two of them actually that a guy came up and found me in the street kind of thing, and we were sitting al fresco. And he said, I love you. I just think you're so amazing. And they both kind of said at the same time, she's not that good. Like they really thought that was funny. And there's kind of, keeping my feet on the ground. Like my feet are firmly planted on the ground. When you become a household name at 40, your feet are already pretty much cemented. So it's all kind of grateful and appreciative kind of feelings from there. But if I argued that with them, which I don't, because I just take it and think, well, that says a lot. It says a lot to me, and I don't want to confront you about that. to make you feel bad because you've made me feel bad. But I know because I know in the argument it would be, we're just joking and we're just keeping you real. But it's funny because I think in the entertainment industry, you know, their argument would be, well, do you come and praise me for my job? And I would say, yes, I would. If I was given the opportunity. When you're in entertainment and someone says, I didn't like the show that you were in, or I don't like that, or I don't listen to your podcast, that really hurts my feelings because you don't have to love it. I mean, you don't even have to listen to it. It's completely up to you, but why not? You know, if you really love me and you have the opportunity to see me work because that's what I do, why don't you? That's how I feel about it. But if I got the opportunity to watch them work, I probably would. And I would praise them from the rooftops for doing it. Do you think it's easier to make friends with someone in the public eye? No. Although my public eye has allowed me this amazing connection with and engagement with my followers on Instagram. I don't go onto Facebook, as you know, but my Instagram I'm very engaged with, and I've made some amazing friends that way. Some of them I talk to every day and I just love them. I love hearing about their lives and I love getting their advice on mine. They almost fill that friendship void of pride that I have others that don't. And, you know, Heidi Arena, we had her on the pod. She's become a really great friend of mine as an adult. And I've also had other people who I've made really good friends with and catch up with. So I think it is easy. I've had another friend who moved away and she's moved to a very small town. Well, you know, Annie Potatoes. And she's moved to a tiny little town. Well, it's not that tiny, but she's threw herself in. So she has said to me she's really pushed her comfort zone boundary, because she knew in the end it would be good, but she had to get through some really uncomfortable, awkward moments of dinner parties or just catch-ups and things. She ended up volunteering for the Fringe, and then she started roller skating. She did, I think, No Lights, No Lycra. She started pottery now. Like all of these things that she's made these amazing friends. And when I go to see her, we'll go out with these people. I'm like, they're really great. Like, who knew that you would make such amazing, like-minded soulmates later in life? A lot of people don't think you can. I think you can, and I think you'll end up making the better ones because you know who you are much better, and you also get an immediate ick if you don't like someone, and you're more inclined to act on it and stay away than you would be when you're a lot younger, when everyone was your best friend simply because they were in the same class as you. And that's all I have to say about that. So thank you very much, Vanessa, for sending in such a wonderful female. If you have anything you want to ask me or anything, 2girls1pod at novapodcasts.com.au. Have we got a useless fact? Yes, we do. Do you remember right at the beginning of this episode I said good morning, good afternoon or good evening? Did you know that the word hello has only relatively been around for, I'd say, 150, 180 years? What was the year that we first started seeing? 1827. 1827 was the first year that we actually started seeing the word or hearing the word hello. And to have the word hello used, it would be as an exclamation like, hello, what are you doing here? Hello, what is that? It was a bit of a shock. It wasn't until the phone was invented and they had to come up with a word, because when you picked up the phone, you didn't know who the person was or what time of the day they were calling from, which is weird because I don't know where they're calling from, but probably they may have been calling from Africa and you were in America. I don't know, you're in Boston in the Harvard bar. So they came up with hello, because the guy that made the phone, Alexander Graham Bell, isn't that weird that it ended up having a bell to let you know that the phone was ringing? He wanted you to say ahoy. Imagine if we all, to this day, we're using ahoy. It would be normal, but we didn't. It was Thomas Edison that said, let's say hello. Let's say hello because it's a bit of a surprise. You don't know, oh, hello, who's there? Oh, and we still say it to this day. Can I just say that there was a whole group of people in the 80s and before that would only ever answer their phones with their own phone number? Yeah, it was a really big thing, and I oscillated between it because sometimes, I'd pretend to be really serious and sometimes I'd pretend to be fun. So sometimes I'd answer the phone and go, hello. Sometimes I'd answer the phone and go, 328-935, which was my home phone number. I can still remember it. It used to be only a 6-digit number and then they added 2 more numbers that was up there. But in Sydney and the major cities, they only had to add 1 number and it was always a 9. So never used to be a 9. And ours on the Central Coast was 43. So, but it was always 328-935. And I remember my neighbours, 322441. I remember those numbers really, really well. That was Tanya Cowan's number, by the way. Coralie Herman. Do I remember yours? No. Yeah, I do. And I'm not going to say it just in case you still have it. Tanya, sorry, people are butt dialing you now. That's it. That's my solo ep for today. I love you all. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're all okay. Remember to look for the little tiny joys in life. They're there. I just saw 3 beautiful birds fly past. 4. I mean, maybe they're picking at the bones of a dead carcass. I don't know, but it looked pretty when they just flew past then. So I will be in your ear holes on Thursday with a wonderful special guest. Oh, my goodness, you're going to love this one. She's a professional doctor. Yeah, that's right. I know doctors. Bye. Hello, 328-935.
Oh, sorry, wrong number.